Twitch versus Kick. Who's going to win the streaming wars? It's me, DeCapybara, Twitch streamer extraordinaire. And in this video, I'm going to give you a little bit of a history on Twitch versus Kick, kind of show you where they both started and why they're butting heads so much. I'm going to go ahead and tell you where I'm going to stream on. And I'm also going to tell you who I want to win this streaming war. So buckle up. It's going to be a good video. Big shouts out to Cash for suggesting it. Cappy, you should do a mini documentary about Twitch versus Kick. If you have an idea for a video for me, just go ahead and comment it, and I will try and do it. I mean, I love talking, so that's where we're at. Also, this is probably my third or fourth take of this video, and I'm not going to do any cuts. I'm going to go all the way through, and what you get is what you get. And that's the Cappy way. So let's go ahead and get started with Twitch's history here. Twitch started in 2007 as Justin.tv. It's a website created by this guy, Justin Kan, or Justin Khan, I think, rather. And basically, he just live streamed himself. And eventually more people joined the platform and started streaming games. It became Twitch.tv. And then the back end of this platform, basically what gets the video from their computer, like their servers, to your device, was so good that Amazon ended up buying them in 2014. Now, I'm sure that Amazon wanted to be an early adopter in the live streaming space, but that back end is really important because, you know, they're building Prime, they're building their AWS servers. So buying Twitch in general, just for the back end, was worth it. But now they also have this company that is an early adopter into the live streaming space. So it looks, you know, looks pretty good. Now, at this time, YouTube basically still had a complete monopoly in the normal video space. But it's Twitch and YouTube are not competing at this time, like in 2014, like realistically. Now, as every good Amazon company does, they have to eventually become profitable. Twitch does. They have to become profitable, and they haven't been profitable for a long time. And so recently, like maybe a year or two ago, I mean, recession hits, Twitch cuts a lot of their staff. And so Amazon, Big Daddy Amazon is basically like you got to turn a profit. And to monetize, Twitch sells bits, subs, and ads. So they sell bits and subs to us, like the normal everyday people. They sell ads to these companies. And that's how Twitch makes their money. Because if you are subbing to your favorite streamer, you know, they're getting a cut of that. If you're buying bits to donate to your favorite streamer, they're getting a cut of that. And then if you're watching ads, they're getting a cut of that as well. So like eventually it becomes so bad, like their ads aren't making enough money. So they decide to cut into the streamer's paycheck a little bit. And recently they made the sub split down to 50-50 from 70-30 for specific partners. And that caused a huge bunch of ruckus. And the reason they had to do this is because YouTube, when YouTube sells ads, they have Google Ad Space, which definitely like it knows a lot about you, so they can serve you very specific ads. But Twitch doesn't have that type of data. So the only way that they can subsidize that loss of money is by just giving you more ads. Thus, they rolled out the ads incentive program. Basically, these streamers now are incentivized to run more ads on their stream. So all they have to do is just like, you know, they enter into the program, they pick which, how much money they basically want to make. And then at some point they have to run a bunch of ads on their stream. Some people are running up like at least 5 minutes of ads per hour, which I mean, compared to traditional TV, is still not that bad, but still a lot different than it used to be on Twitch in specific. And so the community on Twitch is pretty tight knit, and they're getting a little bit antsy about it. Now, another thing that Twitch has to do is they have to do moderation, because you don't want these companies that are buying the ads on your platform, they don't want their ads next to nasty stuff or things that their company doesn't value. You know, they don't want people coming after them. And so they went ahead and banned gambling on their site, Twitch, because there are a few companies that are like unregulated. They use cryptocurrency, they don't age verify, things like that. And so, in order to make their whole platform a little bit friendlier for advertisers, they went ahead and banned specific gambling sites. Now, this was a problem to a lot of these gambling streamers who are getting these deals. They're getting these sponsors from these gambling companies where the gambling companies will be like, I'm going to sponsor you for like $1 million for like 3 months, and I'll give you $500,000 on top of that to use on our site. And so you're not even gambling with your own money. And that is like super appealing for these gambling streamers, but it's really bad when people see like these big wins or these big losses and they're like, "Oh shoot, I want to gamble," but the people that you're watching aren't even gambling with their own money. And so there's not really any consequences for them. And so they can just like shell this site, like really sell the site and end up getting people in this gambling pipeline and ruining their lives. Anyways, they banned gambling, and Trainwrecks, the streamer, does not like that. And so he is like, you know what? You know what we'll do? We'll make our own platform with blackjack and hookers. So that's exactly what they did. Kick.com is funded by the CEO of Stake, and they came out swinging with a 95-5 sub split, which means how I talked about Twitch's is 50-50 between the creators on the platform and the streaming service itself. Well, Kick, 95% of the revenue goes to the streamer and only 5% goes to Kick. And there's also almost no terms of service on this site, which means that you can gamble, you can have, these really interesting adult content. I mean, people got caught doing the Super Bowl, like streaming the Super Bowl. They've streamed adult content on this site before. It's not the most wholesome place to be, but they're not relying on that ad revenue. They're just relying on stake.com funding Kick. And they even also said too, this is absolutely wild, they're throwing a ton of money, Kick is. They also said too that they would pay $16 an hour to streamers in their creator program. Now, you should probably have to get a certain amount of viewership before that actually kicks in, but that is pretty wild. And then Twitch had their own response to all of this because they're feeling the heat now. There's another live streaming place in the business, and they actually have some competition now. So they introduced Hype Chat, which is a new way to stand out. It's basically YouTube Super Chat, where it's just a new monetization feature where people can pin their own messages at the top of your board for like $5 for 2 minutes, 30 seconds. The streamer gets to pick it. And also the creator gets 70% of that money from Hype Chats, where Twitch only gets 30%. So that is a little bit more effective too. Although Twitch does take a little percentage, so it's more like 60-40, but And then they also introduced the Partner Plus program, which kind of retcons the 50-50 thing, gives specific partners with a ton of subs 70-30 revenue share on their subs up until $100,000, which if you have 350 subs a month, I mean, you're probably going to hit that pretty quick. I know that the math, there's specific math, but most of the time you'll hit that pretty decently if you have 350 subs and you qualify for this program. But it is still nice. It's still a step in the right direction. And they've done a lot of PR mitigation too. Recently, in the last couple of weeks, they've been doing these calls with like these Q&A sessions on their own site, which have been really nice. So I even got my question answered on one of them, so that's pretty cool. But that's Twitch's response there. And so Kick sees that and they're like, "Oh yeah? oh yeah, you're going to do this Partner Plus program? Or we're going to go ahead and sign XQC for $100 million in total. $100 million contract. Now, I was watching Avatar 2 the other day, and the brain juice that makes humans stop aging was valued at 80 million. So XQC's contract is more expensive than the mythical de-aging juice of whales in the Avatar series. Just saying. Just saying. And this move here basically signals to everyone. I mean, it's got even New York Times coverage that Kick has money and they're a major player in this streaming game. There's a lot of earned media when you get a deal like this. I mean, Devin Nash said it best. Well, let's listen to him.
The revenue back to XQC, and they're paying him this much. How the heck does this make sense for Kick? Well, it's because Kick just overnight became a competitor to Twitch. Like, legit. They just literally put themselves on the board. And we're going to discuss why that's going to be a problem in the next section. Because this section is now...
See, basically what he said is that now they're a problem now for Twitch. We're in this game, and we're in it to win it. So now you know the history. So who do I want to win this streaming war? Kick? Twitch? None of them. None of them. I don't want a winner. I don't want either one to die, because when you look at this battle, they're trying to beat out each other. And you know who wins when there's competition? Us, the consumers. It breeds innovation. So at some point, you're going to decide which platform is better for you in specific. If you want to make a quick buck, Kick might be the deal. If you want to build a community, Twitch might still be the deal. I don't know what to do exactly, but I do like having both in the game, because for years, Twitch sat and did nothing. Under Emmett Shear, they weren't doing jack, and it's because they didn't have to. YouTube wasn't necessarily a threat in the live stream game yet, and Kick didn't exist. Now that Kick exists, Dan Clancy is in charge of Twitch. We're actually getting stuff to happen. We've had more product released from Twitch in the past, I don't know, year than we've had in way longer before that. And so I'm glad that Twitch can't be complacent anymore, because they're no longer a monopoly. Now, where am I going to stream? YouTube. Right here. No, so I'm only streaming here on Tuesday evenings, and I'm streaming on Twitch on Thursday and Fridays. And the reason why I'm not streaming on Kick is, I have a few reasons. But the first is I'm not really convinced of its longevity. Now, they signed XQC for 2 years with that huge, massive deal. But companies can still go under, you know. And as soon as Stake thinks that Kick is not worth it anymore, then they're just going to stop doing it. And now everything that you've built on Kick is gone. And I think that Twitch has probably some longer staying power. And that's also why I'm starting to stream on YouTube, because I know YouTube will be around until the day I die, probably. Another reason not to stream on Kick is because I think I mentioned it before, but the gambling pipeline, basically, the Kick's website is like hard encoded to have gambling streams like in the second or third slot at all times. And basically, if I bring people to Kick, and then they're like, oh, you know, Cappy's not streaming anymore. Who am I going to go watch? Maybe I'll go watch this person over here. Oh, now they're gambling. Hey, that looks pretty cool. There is like a hardcore gambling pipeline there, and I don't want to be a part of it for my community. And then, of course, the third thing is like the lack of moderation. I strive to have a very safe space in my streams, and because I have people that I care about, you know, and I want to do my best to make sure that they stay respected and to make sure that they're not exposed to anything that they don't necessarily want to be exposed to. And Twitch has a really strong terms of service where Kick has like almost nothing. And so that's why I'm going to continue to stream, you know, a little bit on Twitch, a little bit on YouTube. And I'm very pleased with the changes that Twitch has made this year in general, and I just hope that they continue to make changes to better their platform and help their creators, because really they're the backbone of what's going on, and we'll see how that goes. Anyways, who do you think is going to win? If one of them goes down, which one will it be? Well, let me know. Make sure to like the video and definitely comment what you want to see me talk about next, and sub to me. All right, see ya. Bye. See ya later. Bye.